Hello, little dreamer. I'm Lulu, the Little Lamb, and I'm so happy to tell you a story tonight. The day is done, the stars are waking, and the world is getting quiet. It's the perfect time to close your eyes and step into a land of wonder. In this special place, the moon shines softly, the wind whispers kindly, and every dream begins with a gentle story. Are you ready to go on a magical journey? A journey where your heart feels safe, your mind becomes calm, and your imagination can fly like a feather on the breeze? Then snuggle up in your bed, pull the blanket close, take a long, deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Close your eyes now, little one, and let's begin. Lulu and the Whispering Windbells. The wind was different that day. Not wild, not cold, but curious. It danced across the dream meadow in long spirals, brushing through dandelions and whispering secrets only it could understand. Lulu, the little sheep, stood at the edge of the woods. She had followed the breeze for no real reason. No sound had called her. No plan had pulled her. But something soft inside her chest had said, "Walk a little further." So she had. The path curved through birch trees and hollow logs, past the sleepy hum of bees and the occasional flutter of leaves. Everything was light. Not bright, just light, like the morning had taken a deep breath and decided to exhale slowly. Lulu wandered with quiet hooves, her ears gently tilted forward. She didn't know where she was going, only that something ahead felt gentle, like a memory. The trees grew older the deeper she went, their trunks thicker, their roots wider, their shadows longer. There was moss on everything, stones, branches, even a few mushrooms with caps like velvet buttons. Then the wind changed. It stopped whispering. It began to sing. Not loudly, just a single, soft note that came and went like breath. And with it, a sound. Ding, ding. Lulu froze. Not with fear, with wonder. The sound had not come from an animal or a bird. It had come from the air itself. And when the wind blew again, ding, it happened once more. Soft, clear, mysterious. Lulu stepped off the path. She moved through the underbrush, careful not to disturb the hush around her. And then, through a veil of ivy, past a sleeping stump and a spiral of stones, she saw it. A clearing. And in its center, a tall, old tree. From every branch hung windbells. Not many, not flashy, but enough. Some were silver, some wood, some crystal. They caught the light like dew, and they moved not with the wind, but with something else. Lulu stepped closer, heart quiet, breath still. Lulu stepped softly into the clearing, as if her hooves might disturb the air. The windbells swayed slowly, purposefully, though the breeze was gentle. They did not clatter or jingle. They listened. Each one hung from the ancient branches by silken threads, almost invisible in the shifting light. Some bells looked like leaves folded in glass, others like drops of moonlight. A few were shaped like stars that had once forgotten how to shine. Lulu stood beneath the tree, looking up in silence. Ding, a bell chimed softly above her. She turned her head. No wind had touched it, but she felt something. Not on her fur. Inside, a thought. Not hers. A voice, not spoken, not heard, floated gently through her chest. I almost said I loved you, but I let the moment pass. Lulu blinked. The bell fell still. Another turned, higher in the branches. Dean, I was sorry, but I never told them. And another, I wish I had been braver. Lulu sat beneath the tree. The moss was soft, cradling her like a memory. She looked up into the tree's arms and whispered, "Are these thoughts?" No answer, only a breeze and the gentle turning of another bell. Dean, this time, the feeling was different. It was not a regret. It was a longing. I wonder if they remember me. Lulu's chest ached in the quietest way. She closed her eyes. What if, just maybe, these bells only rang when someone was near enough to truly listen? She stayed still, and slowly she opened her thoughts. Not out loud, just inside. Things she'd never told anyone. Not because she didn't want to, but because the right moment had never come. Like the time she missed someone and pretended she didn't. Like the day she was afraid and smiled instead. And in the air above her, Dean, a small bell turned. And another. And another. But not in sadness. In recognition. As if to say, yes, we've held these for you, and you don't have to carry them alone anymore. The clearing was still. The bells hung in gentle quiet, some glowing faintly as if warmed by memory. Lulu opened her eyes. She felt lighter, not like something had left her, but like something had been heard. She stood and stepped deeper into the clearing, past the central tree, where most bells hung, past the soft spiral of moss and white stones, toward the edge, where the ivy grew thicker. There, almost hidden, stood another tree, smaller, older, bent slightly to one side, as if listening forever in one direction. From its lowest branch hung a single, silent wind bell. Lulu approached. This bell was different. Not silver, not glass. It was made of wood, faded and smooth. Its thread was frayed. Its surface held tiny carvings, symbols, not letters. It had not chimed once, not since she had arrived. And yet, something about it pulled her in. She sat before it, folding her legs beneath her. The bell didn't move. No breeze touched it. No light caught its edge. But Lulu felt something. A presence. A hush that was deeper than quiet. Not empty. Full. Full of everything that had never been spoken. Never sung, never dared. She closed her eyes, and without words, she let her silence lean into the bell. She thought of the time she'd watched someone walk away and wished they would turn back, but never asked them to stay. She thought of the moment she had wanted to say, "I'm scared," but instead said, "I'm fine." And she thought of all the words she had swallowed just to make space for others. The bell stirred. Not a sound, just a shift. A tension, like breath held just before the tears come. Then, Dean. The sound was deeper than the others. Not sad, not bright. True. It moved through the clearing like a ripple. The other bells paused. And in that stillness, Lulu heard something. A voice, not from the bell, from within. Her own. Soft, new, steady. It's okay. You don't have to say everything out loud, to let it go. Lulu stayed by the wooden bell for a long time. She didn't speak. She didn't move. The wind moved through the trees like a tide, gentle, constant, deep. And slowly, other bells began to chime again. Not in sadness, in harmony. Their tones rose and fell like waves, each one carrying a thought once kept quiet, now drifting gently into the air. I was proud of you. I just never said it. I missed you every day. I wish I had listened more. Lulu listened with her whole self. And as she did, something in her shifted. The clearing was no longer just a place. It was a keeper of emotion, a place where silence had been honored, not ignored. She looked back at the large tree in the center. Its branches swayed gently. From one high branch hung a bell she hadn't noticed before. It shimmered faintly, translucent, like frozen breath. Lulu stood and approached it. As she looked up, the bell turned slowly, slowly. Ding! The sound was unlike the others. It was layered, not one thought, but many, so many. Lulu's breath caught, and then she understood. This bell didn't hold one silence. It held the silence of a generation. Things never spoken, fears carried across years, hopes buried under duty. She bowed her head and whispered, "Even if no one heard you then, I hear you now." The bell rang again. Ding! A warm breeze swept through the clearing. All the bells chimed once more, together this time. Not loud, not urgent, but clear, like breath finally released. Lulu sat in the middle of the mossy circle and let the bells sing around her. She didn't need to understand every note. She only needed to be there, to listen. And as she did, a quiet feeling rose inside her. A new kind of quiet, peace. The sun had dipped lower, painting long shadows between the trees. Lulu rose from the moss. The air was calm, and the bells no longer chimed. Not because they had fallen silent, but because they were resting. They had been heard. She looked back at the old wooden bell one last time. It didn't move, but Lulu felt its presence like a soft hand on her shoulder. A quiet understanding passed between them. No words, no sound. Just this. "Thank you." Lulu turned. She walked slowly out of the clearing, retracing her steps between the spiral stones and the carpet of white flowers. The wind followed her, light and playful again, as if it too had shed something it no longer needed. By the time she reached the dream meadow, the sky was lavender and soft gold. The dandelions had closed their eyes. Birds whispered goodnights from the trees, and the first star had taken its place above. Lulu lay down beneath a crooked willow and curled into the grass. She breathed deeply. No bells here, no chimes, just the wind and the memory of listening. And then, as her eyes grew heavy, she heard something, not with her ears, but with her heart. A single, silent chime. And within it, sometimes the quietest things are the ones that hold us the most. Lulu smiled. The breeze touched her cheek, and the world grew still. Still enough to hear everything that mattered, even the things never said aloud. Thank you so much for joining me on this gentle adventure. I loved having you here, and I hope your heart feels warm and calm. Now it's time to rest, to let your thoughts slow down and your dreams begin. Close your eyes, little dreamer. Let the night wrap around you like a soft, cozy blanket. Sleep deeply, sleep peacefully, and know that you're safe, loved, and never alone. We'll meet again very soon in the land of stars and dreams.